Oh, Dr. Chunks just found a new friend. Ugh. And there's more dogs. Texas Meat Jack here. Loving life. Living life. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Oh, look, he's getting attacked by little dogs. Hello. It's like even 3 of them aren't as big as him.
No.
I need to get a new case for my phone. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Beautiful July the 2nd morning. Well, I'm not morning anything, but in the beginning of the day. It's funny to play on words that we seem to have to constantly endure. Because habits also create future habits. So if you don't change your mindset up here, then everything you look at in the world stays the same until this changes here. And what I find really interesting about mindset and manifestation and all that other stuff is it all starts in here. You know, every action that we create is an action we create in our minds first. So I just thought I'd make a live this morning because we were at the dog park yesterday in the middle of the city, which is actually a pretty huge park. So lately we've been doing a lot of walking. Wow, look at, sorry, I'm ADDing right now. Look at all these massive plants. Look at these. Wow, these things are like, I'm 6 feet tall, right? And some of these things are bigger than me. Let me stand next to, it's quite amazing too, like these pods. Oh, it smells great. Look at this. Look at this. I'm standing beside and it's over my head. Holy crap. Man, all the rain we've had this year. It's funny how the world works. But see, I also believe that that's influenced from an outside source. I think sometimes there's weather modifications happening, and that's what causes our droughts. Look at all these birds, they're just living their best life in here. They're like, there's nothing that can get to us. Oh. Man, these things are huge. Like the stalk on that must be like at least an inch around. Wow. Well, I guess you can never really see it, but I guess there's a little pond or lake. And look, there's a bird right there. Just chilling, loving life. See what happens if we just leave nature alone? Nature will figure itself out. It's like we'll make provisions. For whatever man birds are so heavy in this area. Oh, there he is. The most beautiful dog in the park. There is no other dog that is as beautiful as my dog. It's just like when people say things like my child is the smartest, my child is the best, and yeah, my dog is the best. So we're back at our sanctuary here, where we come in the morning to wind. We come during the day to wind down, but I really think that we need to stop cutting our grass because, like, look at how tall everything is here. And this is how you give life to the bees, the birds, all the insects. And you know, we hear all these things about like decline and stuff like that in the world. The decline of insects and bugs and things like that. Insects and bugs and things like that, they don't get a chance to thrive because if you come here, for instance, let's talk about climate change, right? Let's change the climate. This is a normal occurrence, as if we allow the plants to grow, then maybe the climate wouldn't change. Right. You know, if you let everything just do its thing, like chunks, look at this beautiful thing. If you let things just live, and you don't spend all this ridiculous money, like imagine how much it costs to come in here and mow this entire place, and how much carbon that puts into the air, and how much carbon is being captured. Well, what's really interesting about when you mow grass is that it actually puts carbon back into the atmosphere, so you're doubling and tripling it, because not only are you cutting it, that's putting carbon into the air, then you're stopping the absorption of carbon, because now the plants are in this like fight or flight mode, and they stop living the way they should. Everything should be natural. So look at this. You got beautiful, this is called plantain here. Now I wouldn't pick it from the dog park, but it's definitely in a good life here. And that plant is super good for you. You can make teas and tinctures out of it. Super healthy, along with the dandelions and everything else. But see, all the insects love all this stuff. And I felt bad because I ended up mowing my backyard the other day, literally yesterday. And I ripped all these out. The bees love these. See, look, there's a bee right there. Loving his life. Look at that. I'm actually allergic to bees, but that doesn't matter. Look at all this life. It's like mankind is mad that these things are living for free. So we come along and we mow it all down. But like, look at all the insects just flying around in this area. All these beautiful flowers. Look at this. Like, you almost couldn't even see that until I zoomed in. Everything, color, just loaded with life. And so all these plants, what they're doing is they're absorbing carbon. They're absorbing carbon, putting it back into the ground. And then when you cut it, it turns back into carbon. Because you probably didn't know this, or maybe you did, carbon everything's made of carbon. So look, like, we gotta leave this stuff to live, because of the fact that we're contributing to climate change by listening to all this bullshit saying that Oh, everything's going extinct and it's because of you, the people. Just gotta make sure the dog's here. You, the people, are the ones causing it, right? Well, yeah, we are, because we buy into the bullshit. And the bullshit being that this is a this is a terrible plant. And I've walked on trails before where I've actually seen people rip these plants out of the ground and leave them on the trail. But if it was meant to be there, then why not leave it there? Right? And that's the interesting thing, is people don't take time to think about this stuff because they're too busy working, too busy struggling, and all that. We wouldn't have to struggle because life wouldn't be the way it is if we actually use some common sense. So what I like about this park is they actually probably didn't even spray this park with anything like herbicide or anything to kill all this stuff, because everything's kind of in a nice state of growth, like really lush, really tall, and that's good because that's what we need, right? You know, like back in the Vietnam War where they went around spraying Agent Orange on everything because they were trying to fight the Viet Cong, which I just found that out about the other day. And it was really crazy because you think about that they're still affected by that today, because it leaches into the soil and it goes up the tree. And then what it does is it takes the stems of the leaves, makes them so weak that it can't hold the leaves, and then it starts killing the jungle. That's what they did there. When you think about things like Roundup and stuff like that, basically, probably, I'll have to look into this, is probably made up of some compound that they used in Vietnam that they're probably selling on pennies on the dollar. But look at this. Beautiful, beautiful tall field. Wait, there's something even more beautiful. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Chunks, why are you so gorgeous? Where did you get this? Well, look at all this nice growth. This is what we need to focus on. You know, they keep telling us there's not enough, there's not enough. Well, here we are living in the land of abundance, and we're being told there's not enough. Why is it we even believe it? I'll take you to a spot in the park that will help you see what abundance actually really is. And you'll probably see it every day, but we're too busy being manipulated into believing this bullshit, right? There's not enough for all those who are greedy and don't want to give back and just want to take. Maybe there's not enough for them, but there's sure as hell enough for all of us. This planet can sustain about, I think it's like 60 billion people, and we're nowhere near that. We're nowhere near that. But if people lived in a good state of mind, they would realize that all of this is trash that they talk. They speak trash all the time. Man, I love seeing all this color. Seeing the perfect grass is cut 3 inches. Like, they try to sell you this golf course green shit, and you know, it doesn't make any sense, because that's not what nature is intended to look like. Because if it was, it wouldn't grow like all that back there. So now we're gonna go to this other part of the park. Close. Where are you going? Follow. Close. With me. Right. That's why you have to be close, Chunks. I don't want you running into people. So here we are on our walk, our beautiful walk today in this park. And, this is the way the park should look. This is the way the park should look. Full, tall grass. Just putting CO2 back into the air, because all living things that absorb carbon actually absorbs the carbon and then puts oxygen back into the air. So seeing this like this is amazing. I love it. I love it. And I think we all need to learn that if we want more rain, if we want the weather to be a certain way, well then we gotta stop cutting the grass. We gotta stop cutting down trees for no reason. And we need to start practicing habits of agriculture that actually support the growth of this planet. Like, why is this dog so happy? Look at him. Because he's in nature. He's in what the park should look like all the time. And I love that there's so many different species of grass here. There's so many plants. Like, look at all this. It looks good. It looks like a park should. And why is it that we've adapted to a model that is completely ludicrous? For one, brainwashing everybody into believing that there's not enough. Look at all around. Not enough land, not enough nothing. There's not enough. We've been drawn into a lifestyle that makes us practice things that make absolutely no sense. Like, I know they're just little. Oh, there's an insect on that one. Or did he just disappear? Oh, he's under. There's ants in there. It actually smells good. I literally ripped those out of the ground the other day. I ripped those same plants out of the ground the other day because my landlord's like, oh, what would the neighbors think? I'm like, I don't care what the neighbors think. He's like, well, yeah, you're causing me. And just because of the grief of it all, like, we live under this, so-called mentality of freedom, right? I'm free to go to the park. I'm free to do whatever I want. Yes, I get that. But this mentality of freedom that you have to have a license to drive, that you have to have a license to basically work, right? That's what your SIN number is for. But I was thinking about this the other day, and I'll get into this a little bit later with this whole SIN number. Why do they call it a SIN, right? Maybe because it's a sin to impersonate something that you're not. And that piece of ID is not technically you. That piece of ID is like a coat, right? You put it on, and then you wear it and act like you are the coat, right? So this government ID that we've been brainwashed into believing that we need all this stuff to actually live free makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. And the more and more I think about it, every day I gain a new piece of knowledge, a new insight as to how it makes no sense, right? Because for one, they tell you there's not enough, but there's enough everywhere. So, but you believe it, right? And then you go and you tell your friends, oh, it's not enough too. They all start believing it too. And then you go and tell your kids and all this stuff, and it becomes this imprinted language that you don't seem to really, you can't escape from, because of the fact that it's kind of been bred into your psychology. So, like, to me, hearing all the birds chirping, seeing the life that's coming out of this grass, I feel like the reason why they cut it is to keep us depressed. I feel the reason why we have this mentality is to keep us suppressed. But like, look at the beauty on this bike path. Like, there's nothing wrong with this bike path. Fine, we have a bike path that took out some nature, that's okay. But there's nature on both sides now. As long as they keep it this way, this will forever grow beautifully. and will be there for generations and generations for our children to enjoy, our animals and pets, insects, everything to enjoy this kind of life, right? Like, this all came out of the perception that I had to change when I wasn't able to cut my grass. I know a lot of people are going to think, wow, this is such crazy talk, but you know, I've had a leg injury for quite some time, and I can't do normal stuff all the time because I'm always in pain. Now, to get off the whiny topic, I started to like let my grass grow, but then I started to see how like the bees were like coming and like loving all the flowers in my backyard and like loving all these plants that you basically see in the dog park, but they were in my backyard. And a lot of people will look in my backyard and go, that looks like trash. And then, but I'm like, I don't care what other people think. I know what it's doing to the planet. And that's the beauty of it, is that I know that I'm feeding all these animals. And it really got me to pay attention to the fact that and there's a reason why paying attention is important, because there's always a cost. Paying attention to the fact that when you start giving back to the planet, right, you start getting back from the planet. And now I just gotta watch Chunks because his tail's wagging. He's like, all right, see you later. Usually he's if his tail stops, you gotta get him back quick. But it's quite interesting when you think about how the psychology of us screwing up the world only comes from the fact that, oh, hello, buddy. It only comes from the fact, I'm trying to like film so the sun is not. The psychology only comes from the fact that it's been implanted. It's kind of like, there was a story way back when where these people were talking about, they cut the end of the roast, a piece of the roast off, and nobody could figure out. And they would ask like the mom, why do you cut the roast? Well, my grandmother did it. And then they asked the grandmother, why did you cut the roast? The other grandmother would say, well, my other mother did it. And then they found out later that the stoves that they built weren't big enough to fit the roast. So from that, just that little bit of push, right? Because like, when you want to move an object, if it's planted, it's harder to move. Like say for instance, if you want to push on me, I'm like 87 pounds, almost 300 pounds. You can't just push me, but if I jump in the air, you can push me while I'm in the air. So that same mentality with the stove is the same thing that we deal with in everyday life. Like all these misconceptions of how we should live life. Well, why the hell are we going around killing our planet and then taking part in doing so, and then thinking that we're doing a good thing? I did a good thing. Like, most gorgeous animal. No, why'd you get up? He was rolling around. Look at this guy. Oh, beautiful ting. So I know this is a long conversation about climate change. But it's funny how the word is kind of loaded. It's a loaded question. And it's a loaded answer at the same time. Because nobody stops to smell the roses and think about it, right? Like stopping to smell the flowers when they're there. Aromatherapy, like, when I do that right now, there's so much in the air. Because all of this is flourishing. And I believe that there is a mindset that's out there that wants to suppress that free thinking mindset, that free living mindset. And that starts with how we go about living life. Don't believe everything everyone tells you. Find out for yourself. Don't listen to me. Look into it. Just take what I'm telling you and go and look into it. Look at these flowers. Everything's doing its job. So all this grass that isn't cut is putting fresh air into the atmosphere, which is what we need here. Oh, there he is. See, that's what we were trying to catch. He just loves it outside. I almost want to take the harness off of him, but the problem with me taking the harness off of him is because at this park he gets attacked a lot. And I'm not going to say Chunks is like he is the greatest dog that ever lived, but he is also one that doesn't like to be pushed. Let's just say that. If something comes in his way and tries to push, he's just like, bring it. I will take your challenges and I will destroy them. That's the way he is. And you know what? It's funny. We're not blood related, but yet that dog is so much like me. So which proves a point kind of to what I was talking about in the beginning of the video with the whole mindset change, is that you are who you hang around, you are what you think, and you are what you eat. So if everything that has an external effect that thrusts itself into our lives can make an internal change, right? Like you go to the doctor and he prescribes you medication, and then you ingest that medication internally in order to change an outcome that's happening internally, right? Which in a sense, modern medicine is quite silly. Like it never fixes the problem, it only ever masks it. Like when I had the laser, it wasn't laser surgery, but it was like laser therapy on my plantar fasciitis that I had in my foot that has caused, hello, the dogs. The plantar fasciitis that I had in my foot, which is in the same leg that I had all the damage done. Now, that's the interesting part about this, is it took away the pain, but I'm sure it's doing damage because I feel pain in my arch and heel all the time, but it's not the same way as it was before, where like every time I go to the doctor, they tell me I'm okay and I'm fine. And the interesting thing about going to a doctor is you tell them how you feel and they make an assumption based on hundreds of clinical studies as to what could be your problem. But it doesn't necessarily always mean that that's your problem. So, interestingly enough, we live our lives never knowing what our full potential is. And that full potential is definitely something that is constantly being learned on a daily basis. Now, when I ask people this question, if you had anything in your life that you wanted to do, and money wasn't an object, time wasn't an object, and you could just go do it, what would you do? Almost 99% of the people have absolutely no idea. And those that even have an answer don't even realize that the answer that they have is not even their own. So you really have to pay attention. There's the reason why that's expressed that way, because it costs you the time to think about it. It costs you the time that you're using to dissect it. Now, paying attention is a great skill that once one can hone all his energy into that collective that basically everybody is operating on, we can actually change the planet in a way that will benefit us, and we don't have to keep hiring all these government people who can never seem to fix any of the problems, right? They just keep throwing money at the problem. Oh, the problem is climate change. Well, like, if that's the problem, why don't you just plant more trees? Or don't cut the grass. How about that? That'll help. All of it'll help. And you know what the interesting thing is? Let's say you have an area that has no water, and you start planting things. You start adding water. Well, those roots go into the ground, right? And those roots act like a pump because there's water in the earth. So the roots start soaking up the water out of the earth and bringing it up to the surface. And then that goes into the clouds. You know all these real clouds you're seeing today? And I say real clouds because they're actually absorbing water, raining. We've had lightning and thunder lately, which hasn't been happening too often. But a lot of people will think that I'm like one of them conspiracy theorists. But it's not a theory if it's true. Right? We know that all the efforts that they're doing is not working. Not to mention the fact that they tell us about climate change, they have no problem throwing billions of dollars at wars overseas to enrich themselves and to enrich their friends. As if that's not changing the climate, right? Life is what we human beings make it. And what are we being if we're always being told to do something and we're always following? It makes us followers, right? It also makes us puppets. It also makes us robots. That's why they want AI so badly, because they don't like the fact that we have a mind and we think for ourselves. They just want you to do like a soldier. Like if you think of the whole model of how a soldier gets created, it's like, we don't care what your thoughts are, just go do what we tell you. Like, for instance, you see that gorgeous animal over there? They won't tell it to you like that. And that's the most vicious dog you'll ever find in your life. They rip things apart. And they have lockjaw. Or maybe we should get a vaccine for lockjaw too. Yeah, I use the word vaccines, but that's what's been pushed upon us on a daily basis. Look at this guy. He's following me. Say hello. You look so happy. He's just so happy. You can see him smiling right behind me the whole time. Oh, he's looking for treats. Well, I can tell you that I don't have any.
Good. That's good.
The treat is the park.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how I trained him.
Yeah, that's good.
I didn't like the whole giving my dog treats to get him to do stuff. It's faster, yeah. This takes more work.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's fine. What's your... Oh, it's Frank?
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Frank, he looks like a Frank.
Yeah, he does.
Look at that, that's Frank. How old is he? Huh?
What's your dog's name?
Oh, that's Dr. Chunks. Yeah, he was, it wasn't a planned animal to have, but...
No? What kind is it?
He's an American Staffy Pit Bull Terrier.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And, you know, you hear all these stories. I was literally just, because I'm doing a live right now, about like how beautiful everything is with all the rain. and how I believe that we shouldn't cut our grass because I believe that that contributes to climate change.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Well, have you ever thought about it like that?
That's right.
Because I don't know if you know that anytime you kill anything that's a plant or a tree, it actually releases carbon into the air,
Yeah, that's right.
right?
Yeah.
So you think about all these heat waves and forest fires and things that we're having, comes from like areas that are being mowed. I think, this is just my theory, right?
Yeah.
I'm not an expert,
Yeah.
but I think the experts don't know what they're talking about anyways.
Well, I believe you.
Well, they certainly can't agree.
It's all about money.
Well, exactly. I was literally just saying that, like before I met Frank.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's funny how they'll tell us about how there's all this climate change, we need to tax you over carbon and all this other bullshit. And we just believe it,
Yeah, that's right. We just accept
right?
it.
We're just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then they go and take all our money and then they send it to like Ukraine and stuff where they're creating climate change by destroying everything.
Yeah.
Because like,
And
it's
when
just,
they're asked about it, they refuse to answer the question.
yeah, like what happened to all the money? Oh, we don't know.
Yeah.
They just keep throwing money at things that don't get fixed.
That's right.
Which they do,
Pluto flies his jet all over the world.
Oh yeah, he's another joke. But the problem is there's a whole structure of how that whole governing body actually works, and it's
Yeah.
we're all taking part of it, right? Like every war that we've ever fought was never fought by these people who are in power.
Oh, that's right.
It's always fought by us,
Yeah, exactly.
killing our brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
That's right.
Even this drug thing,
Yeah, well, even just like drugs in general. Like let's look at cocaine for instance.
yeah, exactly.
Like that doesn't grow in Canada.
No.
It gets here somehow.
Gets here. Yeah.
But it gets here somewhere.
You know, and not to mention the fact that they've taken all the money and taxes that we've contributed, believing that we're taxpayers, right?
Yeah.
Because we actually should never believe that, but
No.
we're really just men and women and not persons or people,
Yeah. Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And that's why I believe this whole LGBTQ stuff is there to stop us from realizing our actual inherent power as human beings.
Yeah. Exactly.
A lot of it's control, and that's typical of people.
Yes. Follow. Close. Chunks. I just have a feeling these dogs. Come here.
Big guy.
Come here. Let's go. Like I said, I had a feeling. I could just tell that that second dog wanted to do something with Chunks. Come here. Let's go. But yeah, like the whole like insects are dying, the bees are dying, all that kind of stuff comes from destroying all this.
Yeah, it does. This is a beautiful space.
Yeah, I hope they don't mow it.
Oh, yeah.
Like look at all the life. It's everywhere. And I think they used to mow this.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I'm wondering why they're not doing it this year.
Maybe they finally got the message.
It looks like they're just mowing along the
I think that's just from people walking on it.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of this is pretty, doesn't look like it was cut.
No. But there has to be an issue of money.
Yeah. No. And that's the interesting thing is once you cut it, first you put carbon into the air to cut it.
Yeah.
And then now there's more carbon being put in the air now that it's dead.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I'd like to inspire change in that
Yeah.
because you see all these bees out here and like I was doing videos on that and the dog's happy. Oh, sorry, Frank. Jesus, Chunks. I saw a guy in the park the other day. He was like lifting his leg, and every time he lifted his leg, his dog was running between his legs. And I was like thinking, okay, that's a cool trick, but one day that's gonna
Yeah,
backfire. Like, oh, I gotta go down the stairs. Bang! Oh man, I go to all kinds of dog parks. Yeah, I film all my dog park walks with Chunks and just kind of talk about things. And
Oh, good.
there's only 2 people watching right now.
Yeah. Oh, you've got a.
Yeah, it's my live.
Oh, nice. Live feed.
Yeah, I do a live feed. I have a YouTube channel
Oh, do you?
with
Oh,
Dr. Chunks. If you look up his name, you'll find our YouTube channel. You can see the stuff we talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm working on like fine tuning it. I started it a year ago,
Yeah.
or maybe a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
and it was basically because I wanted to document his life,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Oh, that's neat.
you only have so much time while you're
Yeah,
here.
they have a little bit, just a little bit of time. Don't they?
Yeah. Well, he's 7 now. I'm seeing the grays coming in. Huh? I'm seeing his grays coming in. I'm like, no, you gotta have puppies before you go.
Yeah. You didn't neuter them.
No. By who?
They talk, he phoned up and said we won't license you, or your license will cost a lot more if you don't neuter your dog.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I'm totally against a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because if it's my dog, why do I have to
You
license
should be able
it
to
with
do what you want. Yeah.
with you, right?
Yeah. It's just money. Everything is money.
Yes. Well, there's a reason why they say money is the root of all evil,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
And
It
what's
really is.
What's interesting about that is that anytime you register something, it doesn't belong to you anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's why the cops can pull you over, because the vehicle you're driving, you think you own it.
Yeah.
You only own the problems that are attached to
Yeah.
it, that they wanna basically give you your little cattle number, right?
Yeah.
Your license
Yeah.
plate or your ID. Come here, Chunks.
Is he going?
Yeah.
Come on, Frank.
Follow. He's a great dog. Come on, Frank. I love how happy Frank always looks. I'm gonna head to the river here.
Okay, well, have fun. Nice
Yeah, it was great chatting with you. It was great talking to some people who
Yeah.
kind of have a good head on their shoulder, right?
Thanks. We feel good.
Thank you. And if you want to see our channel, just look up dr.chunks.
Oh, I will. Sure.
And you'll see Texas Mickey Jack and Dr. Chunks.
Okay.
Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a gorgeous day it is. And now we're back on our walk, met some like-minded people and have a good head on their shoulder. It's nice to see. I just need to spread that to the rest of the world. Stop buying into the bullshit of there's not enough. There's never enough. There's never enough for us, but there's always enough for those who have more than enough. So, here we are. In the Park of Abundance, taking Dr. Chunks to the river. You know, I know that I may talk when I'm talking to all these other people, and sometimes there are those NPC people, non-player, they're just, yeah. But when you get that feedback, that reciprocation, you may just have somebody nodding their head, but just by planting the seed is one of the most important things that we can do as men and women in this land of freedom, and not just following a headless horseman around who doesn't care about you and doesn't care about anything. But I don't know if you guys saw that moment. I was talking to those people and I was like, I have a feeling these dogs are probably going to try to challenge Chunks. And I ended up grabbing him quickly to basically stop a fight from happening. And I could just tell those Akitas, they don't like each other. let's just say they don't like pit bulls, and pit bulls don't like to be challenged. Or actually, maybe pit bulls like to be challenged. I don't know. I think they are a very task-oriented breed, like Chunks loves to be challenged, I think. But at the same time, oh, these are prickly. Sorry, I'm ADDing again. I always have to make sure that when Chunks is being challenged, he's not, because he can do a lot of damage if he really wanted to. But he just likes to run and chill and live his life. Here we are. Oh. It's crazy how usually this water is so far back. Chunks is first. Oh, I didn't realize. I thought I was pointing the other way. It's crazy how the water is so far back. Right. It's beautiful here. You used to be able to walk out like at least 10 feet. Look at this. It's such a beautiful day. Listen to the birds. Oh, nice. Oh, that was pretty impressive. We would usually walk. We would walk all the way through there. I don't know if you can see that log sticking out. Right there. That thing's sticking up by like 3 feet. So there's easily 3 feet of water by that bridge. Quite amazing. Chunks, where are you going? Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous day. Come on, Pitbull. Well, what a... I love the air. Look at this. That's the rose of the Alberta rose. I think that's what they call it. I might be wrong. I don't claim to know anything. I have ideas. Hey. Look at this. Waiting. He's waiting. Push. Close. Follow. With me. Let me see. Okay. Oh, It's a busy day today. What a busy day. I'm trying to mimic the sound. Oh, there's so much life. Look at these guys over here. Just in the grass. Huh. Oh, more dogs.
I'm in the backyard.
Hey. It's funny how attracted dogs are to Chunks because he's not neutered. And all the dogs know it because they can smell it. They're like, whoa, something is wrong with this one. Why is it he keepeth his baldness? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a fucking beautiful day it is today. Oh, I love it. Absorbing the sun. Give me more sun. You want to go to the river? You beautiful thing? Look at you. See if he knows how to open the gate. Okay, inside. Push. Good boy. Oh, this dog's back. Look at that. Now the water is up. Thing's dead. Like I said, it comes up to the first steps. It's nice. We would literally walk all the way out to where that log is. It's funny how there's not enough water, but look, every year it fills up. Look at this guy, just loving life. Man, the birds are everywhere. You know, it's crazy. I've never actually liked birds. It's not like I didn't like them. I just never really paid attention to the birds. Until one day I met this lady who was feeding the birds in the park out of her hand. And there's some videos on my channel about this. And so she was feeding the birds out of her hand. And then she's like, would you like to try? And I said, sure. And then I put the feed and I sat there. I kind of felt stupid, to be honest. I'm like this. And then I had the phone close so I could film them flying in and out of my hand. And once I started doing that, I started liking the birds. It's crazy. I'm wondering if we're gonna find chunks of stick that we had here in this area last time. Look, the beavers are chewing away on stuff right in here. This comes up in here and starts nibbling away. I'm pretty sure we had it in this area somewhere. I'd be surprised if it's still here. Cause he loved that stick. He was just chewing on that like it was a treat. Where's that stick that we found before here? Is it gone, Chunks? Yeah, it was in this area. I think we were... Everything grew so much since the last time we were here. I think it's farther ahead, to be honest. Look, this tree's like basically completely underwater over here. It's actually pushed to the side. And usually that tree... Oh, what's that? Look at that bird. I've never seen that bird before. Is that like a cardinal? I don't know. But they definitely like... What else do we got? Wow, I've never... Look at him. What kind of bird is that? It's got this like tail on the back of its head. Not really a tail, but like feathers. No birds. Oh, there's a robin. It's quite amazing. All these birds just living their lives. Look at this foliage. Whoa, almost fell. I'm gonna go into the depths. Look at the depths. It's underneath here. Big man. Oh shit, I don't want to use any of these filters. Why is it doing filters? Go back. It's normal. Come on. Oh. Okay, fine. Where am I at? Oh. You know, I think it was up here where Chunks had his massive stick. They couldn't help but to gnaw on. That's not it. But man, that's big though. I guarantee you can pick this up. We'll leave it there. Pretty sure it's around here. Let me see if I can entice him. Oh my god, look at this stick here. Wow. Oh, whose stick could this be? Is this a stick? What should I do with this? Whoa. Why are you grabbing my stick? Oh, no, I'm just putting the stick over here. I'm just moving it off the trail. See, when you push them, they just want to do it more. I know his stick is probably around here somewhere. The one that... It was pretty big. Had no bark on it. It looked quite fresh. He was literally running through here with it. I wonder if we passed it. I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for staying tuned in. I could hear him rushing up on me here. Look at this nature walk we got going on. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that stick is gone. I didn't see it. It smells so good out here. What a beautiful walk in Sue Higgins Park with Dr. Chunks. Huh, which way to go? I hear a dog jumping in. Oh, look at this. I gotta walk this treachery for you guys. Oh my god. I don't know if I have a good bit. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I got stung by some kind of plant. And this. I go through. Here. Where'd he go? Come here. Chunks!
Oh, there is one. Okay. A little too much. Well, it's a bit more rocky, this one, compared to the other one.
Let's go. So nice outside today. Wow. What a beautiful day. another dog. I think Chunks might get along. Oh, maybe not. Who knows? Let's see. Hey, I'm filming. Why are you scared of me? Come on. Come on. That's crazy. That dog was like terrified of me. What's he holding in his hand? Is it another one of them tubers? YouTubers. Who knows? Maybe that's what the dog's thinking. But this beautiful day with the most gorgeous animal. Okay. I wonder if this is too wet and treacherous here. Will we be able to pass? Because usually Usually you can walk down that way, but it's so wet. Look at these guys. Hey, hello. Look at Chunks. He's like, I hear somebody. He's like, where'd that dog go? Hey. Where did my dog go?
Oh, he's back in there. You'll find him.
Sorry. He's running. I just saw him zip by. Man, the water's high now. Look at how high this is, almost coming over the shores. Man, that water's just cooking. If you were on a raft today, you'd be just ripping down the river. You'd have to be experienced to be on the river today. Oh, there they are.
Hey,
Come!
be nice.
Come! Come! Come here. You're doing
Something with them intact males, eh?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a thing, and then sometimes it isn't.
It's good though. It's good that he didn't want to be the aggressor either.
I know, but he's new to us.
Listen to these guys.
Hey, you be nice. This guy is totally chilled out and cool.
He's like, I gotta get back to my owner.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate that we
I
have.
think he's just jealous.
I think that's what it is, because he gets attacked. He gets attacked so much in this park. It's crazy.
Yes, and he's cool.
And he's cool.
I know.
Good job, Chunks. It is what it is.
It is what it
They're like, oh, that's a real one. Come here.
is.
Them.
Jay, come, let's go.
Stay close. See you. You see, that was another one of them instances. So that's twice today in the park that another dog wanted to attack Dr. Chunks. And he just walked away. He's like, oh, if my dad would just let me take a piece, he would. But he's like, he gets mad every time I go and attack another dog when the dog attacks me, basically. But that was actually and then I know I caught that on camera because Chunks came right back to me. He's chill, but if it's a full moon, watch out. I try not to walk him in parks that are really crowded with other dogs, because the chances are higher of him getting into an altercation. Man, so I'm getting to this spot. I'm going to stop the video for a second because I get to this point here. I'll show you. Right here, where I stand, boom. I look at this tree and then I take pictures throughout the season and anytime I'm at this park, because I'm going to blend those pictures together so that you guys can see the transitions that happen throughout the season. Man, the birds are all over the water today. And it's flowing fast. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me see if... And it reconnects. Perfect. Perfect. So, I didn't know how to do that before. I would always end the live. Now I know. So here we are. Listen to these birds. They're just living their best life. Look at these guys all over the water. What a beautiful day. Hey. Slip through here and I'm just gonna sit on the bench. Such a nice day. Oh man, what a gorgeous day. Look at this view from where I'm sitting. There's a ton of birds down there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, so I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the walk without filming, because it is a bit of a kind of demand, you know. I feel like I need to be talking the whole time, showing you guys what's going on, kind of giving you my perspective, and sometimes you just need to shut off, and one of those things could be just getting outside for you. Everyone should get outside and enjoy the day, because we only have so many, and we should be appreciative of the days that we do have. Look at this. Well, Texas Mickey Jack signing off. You guys have a great